And we are back. Uh, we are back. And I'm sorry I haven't been here. Again, I don't know if a lot of you guys know that I've been dealing with lupus and fibromyalgia since I was 10. And so here in Texas, it's been very, very rainy, cold. And in the last month, I haven't been feeling that great. And so that's why I'm here. I'm going to talk to you guys about how expensive it is to be sick. Because if you have an autoimmune, you understand how expensive it is. Being sick is expensive. People usually think the biggest cost is the doctor's bill. It's not. The biggest cost is everything sickness quietly steals from your life. If you live with lupus or any autoimmune condition, you already know what I mean. One flare can mean missing work, canceling plans, losing energy, needing labs, specialist visits, medications, supplements, imaging, urgent care, hospital bills. And the number one thing that sucks the most is that you are dependent on somebody else, meaning that if you're married, somebody else is helping you in those times that you don't feel well. And that actually makes a relationship very difficult. So there's many different costs that come with having an autoimmune. And that is before we even talk about what insurance does not cover. Many people think I have health insurance, so I'm protected. I can tell you, I talk to different people that I know that basically spend at least $1,000 or more just in medications. That's an example. Just an example. 1,000 minimum in medications every month. So that's $12,000 in medications, just only medication, not costing the deductible and everything else. On top of that, health insurance often still leaves a lot of things like deductibles, copays, coinsurance, out of network bills, prescription surprises. If you have a compound medication, like I was talking to somebody yesterday, a lot of the compound medications are not covered or they're too expensive. I end up stopping a compound medication that I used to take for a long time. When I started with that medication, I would pay less than $20 for 90 days. And at the end, it was 100 something for 30 days. And I'm like, that's it. So basically, a person can easily pay thousands before insurance really starts helping. And if you're doing alternative things like I've been doing also, where you're doing massages and acupuncture and chiropractor and any natural alternative on top of everything else, that's also that. And if hospitalization happens, one stay can turn into bills that shock families fast. Hospital admissions for lupus complications can cost tens of thousands depending on kidneys, hearts, heart, lung, or immune complications. I mean, do you remember the last time when you end up in the hospital, how much you paid? Now add what chronic inflammation often creates. It creates fatigue that lowers productivity, brain fog, inability to work full strength, emotional burnout, extra food costs because healthier food costs more, travel to specialists. Being sick becomes expensive every month, not just during emergencies. That is why prevention matters, not fake internet prevention. Listen, guys, I'm not a doctor, I'm a financial professional, licensed in Texas, Florida, Ohio, and New York. So I'm talking about my experience here. Real prevention is eating cleaner, lowering sugar, protecting sleep, reducing inflammatory overload, managing stress, understanding what triggers your body. Because every flare avoided can save money, time, and suffering. And this is where people with means often think differently. They invest earlier. They understand paying for better food, education, structured programs, testing, and better support can cost less than years of decline. A lot of people wait until they're desperate. Guys, how bad does it have to be before you understand how expensive this is going to be? Seriously. Because I'm telling you, I was like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. That's how I was. That's how I felt years ago. Because, by the way, just so you know, I don't use any medication for lupus or fibromyalgia, and I see my doctor every 6 months just to get checked, because I found out those things didn't make me feel better. They didn't make me feel better at all. Okay. So, like I said, a lot of people wait until desperate, or they wait until there's a point of no return. By then, they're paying with money and lost quality of life, or even loss of life. Understand this. Health insurance protects against catastrophe, but it does not build health. It pays when damage already happened. It does not replace responsibility. So if your body keeps warning you, listen now. Because your body is screaming for help. It's basically screaming for help. It's screaming for dear life. Let me give you an example. Like I said, the last month, I was doing great. In the last month, I haven't been feeling good. Why? Because it's very cold here in Texas. Cold, clammy, and changes of weather doesn't help people with autoimmune. For I've been feeling pain all over, migraines, just like somebody just took a bat and hit me all over my body. All the freaking time. Horrible, right? So you know what I'm doing? You know what I just did? I did 20 minutes of a vibration plate. You can check what it is. That's alternative stuff. Anyway, what alternative is actually what people used to do. Because I mean, the number one thing that a lot of happens with autoimmune patients is that they cannot do anything. And by you staying in one place, it makes things worse. That's one thing, right? So tomorrow I'm doing something that I haven't done in a while. I'm doing a water fast so that I can give a break to my body and go into the cellular level. I recommend that you do research on that. I have a great group in Facebook called Positively Autoimmune Naturally. So again, if you want deeper education on detox pathways, inflammation, fasting science, and cellular burden, many people study programs like Dr. Daniel Pompa, because his work focuses on why overloaded bodies react differently. Because sometimes the most expensive thing in life is ignoring what your body has been saying for years. That's what I want you to think about. Okay? So basically, living with lupus, chronic fatigue, autoimmune flares, unexplained inflammation, in those moments when you feel like your body reacts to anything, it's very, very frustrating, right? I'm telling you guys, you know, if you live with lupus, one thing you learn fast is this: your body reacts differently than other people's. What helps one person may trigger another. That is why lupus patients cannot casually throw random things into their bodies and hope for the best. Yes, medications can have side effects. Some people feel worse before they feel better. Some people never feel better. Some need dosage changes, but stopping lupus medication. So I told my doctor that I didn't want to take any medication. So don't stop anything without talking to your doctor. So This is what I want you to think. Reduce what burdens your body where you can. Clean food, less sugar, less stress, better sleep, gentle movement, hydration, watching what triggers inflammation. Some people also tolerate carefully supervised fasting. Okay. The same with the vaccine. I'm sorry, I don't take any vaccines. That's my personal preference. And like I said, I'm not a doctor. I just want you to understand that, you understand that lupus or autoimmunes, chronic fatigue, autoimmune flares has unexplained inflammation. In those moments when you feel like your body reacts to everything harder than other people's bodies do. Some people can eat junk, take medications, live a stressed life, sleep badly, and still function. Others eat one thing, wrong thing, take one medication, go through one stressful week, and suddenly the whole body feels inflamed. Why? Because once the body is already overwhelmed, it often loses resilience. So think about this. And it's funny because before I saw Dr. Pompa, I was explaining this. So your body, at the beginning of your body, is like an aquarium, a clean, beautiful aquarium with the most beautiful fishes. And as time passes by, we drink water, we eat junk, we expose to the environment, medications, vaccinations, and all these things take your beautiful aquarium into a cesspool. And once your body becomes a cesspool, that's when you start feeling and screaming, your body starts screaming for help. That's what the pain and inflammation is. So, why autoimmune bodies react harder? So, when someone has autoimmune illness, the immune system is already hyper alert. That means sugar can trigger inflammation, poor sleep raises cortisol, certain foods worsen gut irritation, chemical overload may feel stronger, medications sometimes hit harder because detox pathways are already stressed. It means your body is carrying too much inflammatory burden. And that burden, although they think that you can eat whatever and you can do whatever, comes from processed food, poor gut absorption, chronic stress, environmental toxins from the food, from the water, from the air, poor liver drainage, mineral depletion. The body is always trying to survive, but eventually it starts reacting louder. So let's add on top of that to the dirty aquarium that is basically kill all the life, the life within it, vaccines and why some people feel different. So when people ask why one person gets a vaccine and feels nothing while another feels wiped out for days, the answer is often immune individuality. Okay? So I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I personally don't do any more vaccines. I'm done. Like I said, I haven't done any medication for lupus or fibromyalgia, and I go to the doctor every 6 months. Okay? So, more immune sensitivity, more cytokine reactivity, stronger inflammatory response. That's what the vaccines does. It means autoimmune patients should always discuss timing, disease activity, and current treatment with a doctor before making decisions. A flare-prone body needs personalized timing. And on top of this, guys, let's be honest. Many people with autoimmune illnesses are taking medication while still feeding inflammation every day. That creates conflict. If you're taking medication but also eating donuts, fried food, smoking, drinking alcohol, high sugar, processed oils, artificial ingredients, constant fast food, then the body keeps fighting on two fronts. Sugar especially matters because it drives inflammatory chemistry fast. Many people notice more joint pain, brain fog, swelling, fatigue after sugar spikes. That is not your imagination. That is inflammatory biology. So when things got really bad 2 years ago for me, because I was having some issues, a bunch of health issues, including just body all over pain, um, I started to do a detox. Okay. Real detoxing is not trendy. Real detox means bowel movements every day, sweating, liver support, minerals, hydration, stable blood sugar, intermittent fasting, parasite, metal detoxing before then parasite killing. Your body detoxes every second, but only if pathways are open. If not, the burden builds. So anyway, I want you to think about the cause of your lack of health, because it's expensive, right? It's expensive in so many areas, not only monetarily, but in other areas. So anyway, if you are serious about doing something, for people who are serious and ready to invest in deeper education, structured detox science, and advanced healing strategies, one program many people explore is from Daniel Pompa. His work focuses heavily on cellular healing, fasting strategies, detox pathways, neurotoxicity, metabolic flexibility. That kind of education is usually for people ready to go deeper, not casually dabble. And also, straight up, it is very expensive. Again, like I said, it's very expensive in so many ways. Anyway, if you want to go check it out, here's the link. Let me be sure that it works. Because the last time I tried, I don't know, it just didn't look like it was working. I want to be sure that it works. Let me see. I don't know. But anyway, if you need I'll put it here too. It is very expensive. So it requires lots of money for to do it. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I'll post it in the comments. But like I said, lack of health is expensive. Because sometimes the real question is not what medicine am I taking? It is why is my body struggling to carry the load? Okay? So that's what I think about. I want you guys to think about. Let me find this because I'm sorry. So I'll put it here so that you can actually get it. If you don't have the money to do Dr. Pompas, because like I said, it's very expensive for one person. Just anyway, DM me. I'll send you some information. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but what I can tell you is that I've been dealing with this for a long time. Okay. So again, chronic illness is not only physically exhausting, it is financially disruptive at every level. For people living with lupus, the real cost is often far beyond prescriptions and doctor visits. It includes specialist care, advanced imaging, repeated lab work, lost productivity, reduced business focus, travel for treatment, premium supplements, and the long-term impact of interrupted performance. Even excellent health insurance rarely limits the burden. By the way, also, if you guys need health insurance and you live in Texas or Florida, I'm going to tell you straight up, guys, going to the hospital without health insurance will wreck you financially. Literally. And you know that. Especially if you have an autoimmune. Okay. If you have an autoimmune and you go to the hospital. So I am going to send you here, give you here a link for you to get, if you don't, I know there's some people that I talk to that they have autoimmunes and they don't even have health insurance. So if you need health insurance and you live in Texas and you have some income, because you have to have some income, please go and check this link. Check if you are approved for ACA. Because at the end of the day, you need health insurance. Even like me, that I don't, I go to the doctor every 6 months because that's how I choose, and I don't take a medication. It will be more expensive if I didn't. So, like I said, even excelling health insurance rarely eliminates the burden. High deductibles, out-of-pocket exposure, non-covered therapies, specialist networks, and delayed approvals can quietly drain capital over time. Many financially successful people discover that having money does not automatically create health security. It only gives more options once problems begin. And this discussion explores why sophisticated individuals increasingly think differently. They often invest early in prevention, nutrition, inflammation control, cleaner living, structured recovery, and deeper education before health deterioration becomes expensive. So, I am going to leave it there. And I'm going to do a very, very short closing. And like I said, actually, let me put my info here. You can actually have my info here. If you need anything, this is my information, okay? So remember, you can build wealth for years, but one serious illness can start draining it faster than most people imagine. And I don't have to imagine because, like I said, I've been dealing with lupus and fibromyalgia since I was 10. One hospitalization, one chronic diagnosis, one treatment cycle, and suddenly your savings, your income, and peace of mind are all under pressure. That is why protecting your health is not optional. It is financial strategy. Many people think bankruptcy happens because of bad money decisions. Sometimes it starts with one diagnosis, one hospital stay, one body that stops cooperating. If your health is unstable, your finances are more fragile than you think. So please, 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 hope you have a great time. Go and watch this video in this link here. I put it in the comments. I put two links. One is for you to get health insurance through the marketplace if you make enough money, but don't make too much money. That's where you go. Pre-existing conditions are covered. And the other one that I posted was the same one that I put in the QR code, which is a program for Dr. Pompa. Like I said, I'm here, your servant Mari. And so if you need me, like I said, make an appointment and let's talk how I can help you mitigate your risk. Because if somebody else don't pay it, you're going to pay for it. Well, you guys take care. And this is Mari Cruz. Bye. God bless.
Paper trails thicker than a mystery novel. Cash flow ripple make the banks grovel. Phoenix rise both shut with precision. Generational wealth, that's the mission. Legacy locked, key in the safe. Phoenix flying, no time to waste. Stacks on stacks, building the base. Future so bright, can't see the haze. Securities move, we the pros in the game. Trust airtight, playing no shame. Life in